What's up, everyone? I hope everyone is doing well out there. Today I'm going to share with you guys how a foreigner living in the Philippines secured a car loan through the bank here in the Philippines through a Philippines bank. I'm just sharing my experience, the process I went through, things that I had to do to secure that loan. It might be different for other people out there. I'm sharing my experience. Right off the bat, it's obvious. The first thing you need to do is open up a bank account here in the Philippines. I have BPI. I've had BPI since 2013 when I first came here. I opened it up. When I came here, the way it was set up, you could open up a bank account with an I-card. An I-card is a card you get mandatory here after being here 90 days. It's a visitor's I-card. I now have a 13A card, a 13A Visa card, which is a permanent residence. There's SSRV cards. I don't know if the laws have changed. I hear conflicting stories. I've heard people say, yes, I've opened up a bank account here recently with my visitor's ID card. Others people have said, I tried to go in, they wouldn't open an account. So I've heard conflicting stories. But like I said, the first thing you need to do is set up a bank account here. I have two bank accounts. I have a peso account and I have a US dollar account. So open up a bank account. Establish yourself with the bank. Like I said, since 2013, I've been with the same bank. Even when I went back to the States, my account was still good. When I returned back to the Philippines, I could still bank at the BPI. First thing, guys, first thing is to open up that bank account. Second thing to do is go to your car dealer, shop around. Go to the dealer, shop around, find the best deal out there, find what you want. You will know, I mean, you're gonna know what you're looking at monthly payments. You're gonna know, if you can't afford to go out and get a 4 million peso vehicle, you know your budget. You gotta know your budget. So go to the car dealer, shop around. When you get to the car dealer, you gotta ask them questions. I've learned here that these cars are a set price. If it's, say, 1 million pesos for the type of car I want, it's 1 million pesos no matter what dealer you go to. Now the dealer themselves, they will have deals within their company. You got to find out the deals. The first one, when I went and we went to go get, decided we were going to go with the Toyota. At first they were saying, all right, 20,000 pesos off the original price. When it was all said and done, they bumped it up to 35,000 pesos. They turned around and they said, okay, we'll give you 3 years registration because you have to register your vehicles here every year. They said, we'll give you 3 years. Insurance, they said, we'll insure your vehicle for a year. When you get a loan here, it's just like back in the States. You need full insurance to cover that vehicle. When you're going through the bank and getting a car loan and making payments, they want full insurance. So the Toyota dealer offered me full insurance. What they did was they throw in little extras like free tinting of the windows, free floor mats. There was another freebie in there. They'll have little freebies. They'll have little freebies that they will offer you. Once that's all been established, what they'll do is they'll write you out a piece of paper. Now you can finance through the dealer themselves, but your interest rates are going to be a little bit higher than if you go through the bank. All right, so once you have established all your discounts, everything like that the dealer's going to give you, they will draw up a piece of paper for you to take to the bank. It'll state in what they're all offering, how much they're giving you off, all that. You take that piece of paper to the bank and you tell the bank, hey, I want to apply for a car loan. Now here's where it's kind of funny. When I went in, I said to the bank, hey, listen, I would like to apply for a car loan. They said, okay. I said, what do you require of me? Because I know they've required from people I've talked to a monthly statement of, say, your pension, your monthly income. They want to make sure you are bringing money in monthly. They want to guarantee that they know you're making money. They said to me, like I said, here's where it gets funny. They said to me, you're a preferred customer. Okay? What's that mean? They said, you're a preferred customer. You've been banking with us long enough. They know how much money I've deposited. They know how much money monthly I write into my account and everything like that. They say, you're a preferred customer. I said, so you don't need a monthly statement from me about my income? They said, no. Okay. Then they asked me, what are you looking to finance? And I handed them my paper. And of course, how much are you looking to put down? How long are you looking to finance the vehicle for? Told them all that information. They asked me, are you married to a Filipino? I said, yes. What kind of visa are you on? I said, I'm a permanent resident. They wrote all this information down, you know, my address, how long you've been there. They only asked me how much my income was. They didn't, like I said, verify it. So I filled all that paperwork out. I said, okay, you will hear back from us in a couple days. Here's the thing. Like I was saying earlier, you are required to carry full insurance. They were going to offer me insurance through the bank. The insurance that they were looking to offer me was, now this is yearly full coverage. Yearly full coverage. 23,706 pesos. That's a little over, right around 500 bucks. Give or take, $500 a year for full coverage. But since my dealer offered, as part of the package, full coverage, I didn't have to pay that. They do require that. They also have what's called chattel mortgage, chattel mortgage. That's basically all the paperwork that they've got to go through, all the notaries, the paperwork. That was 16,000 pesos, right around what's that? 16, a couple $100 bucks, give or take, a couple $100 bucks. So now all that's taken care of. Paperwork's in. Now I go back to the dealer. I say, okay, my paperwork's in. I'm waiting for the approval, okay? The dealer then said to me, listen, do you want to put some money down on the vehicle to hold it? Sure. How much can I put down to hold it? I said, 5,000 pesos. Like, all right, cool. Gave him 5,000 pesos and they held it. Now that money can be returned to you. Once everything goes through, they can return that money to you. I was using that money to purchase the add-ons to my vehicle. So they have held my vehicle. I'm waiting to hear back from the bank. I asked the bank, how long will this take? 2 or 3 days. Okay. A couple days go by, I haven't heard from the bank. I called up my dealer. I'm like, listen, I'm still waiting to hear from the bank. And this is where to have a good dealer is important. This guy was excellent. He would call the bank, what's going on with this this loan process. He was on them. The bank called back. They interviewed Luisa. You know, how long you been married? What's your name? How much does your husband make? They called back a third time. Now they asked me the same questions again. And they asked Luisa the same questions. So I'm thinking it's a 3-step process. You're the person that takes the application, moves to the next person who reviews the application to make sure everything's good. Then it moves to the top person who does the actual approving and getting it approved. And then from there, it trickles down again to the person you filled out the paperwork with. Bank calls me. All right, you're approved. Come on in. And here's the funny part. The car dealer, the agent I was dealing with, the salesman, he called me and said, hey, it's approved, you can go up there and sign it. The bank didn't call me. So now, okay, gotta go up and sign the paperwork. You know how that works. You go up, you sign the paperwork. All right, this is how much money I'm putting down. I'm doing a 5-year plan, a 3-year plan, a 4-year plan. You've decided all this out. What they will do is they will turn around and they will say, listen, do you want to add those extras onto your payment? Do you want to add the shadow mortgage, or what they call the shadow mortgage, the paperwork fees that they give you onto your mortgage? And I'm like, no, it's only a couple hundred pesos or a couple $100. I'll pay that out of my pocket, because they'll tack that onto your mortgage, or they'll tack that onto your car payment. And I'm like, no, I don't want to pay interest on something I can pay cash for. Okay, great. Sign papers. Withdraw the money from my account, the percentage I was putting down, and then the paperwork then was for the remainder of the balance. And once all that was done, like an hour, they wrote me a check from the bank to the Toyota dealer. Now I have the check. Go down to the Toyota dealer. Hey, here's the check. Here it is. Okay, great. They take it, fill out paperwork down there. They said, okay, come back. We have to wait for the bank to release the car. The bank has to call them and say, okay, release the car. So what happens is, now that you've filled all that paperwork out at the bank, it works its way back up through the system again to the top person, make sure everything's done, everything's complete. Once they know it's complete, call up the Toyota dealer. Yep, release the car. How long does that take? You should hear from us. You should. The keywords are you should hear from us, or it can take are the keywords. Those were the words they gave me. So, all right. I go home, I'm waiting. I'm like, wait, hang on. The bank has my money. The Toyota dealer has my money, but I don't have my vehicle. I call up my agent again down at the Toyota dealer. Hey, listen, what's going on? Let me make some phone calls. I'm like, yeah, the bank just sent me an email saying it was at this level. So my agent at the Toyota dealer calls up and talks to that person. Finally, not the bank, the Toyota dealer says they've released it, come down. I'm down there, fill out more paperwork. Salesman went over the vehicle with me and explained everything to me. And that was it. That was the process. It took almost a week for the whole process to go through. Here's my thoughts on everything. These are my thoughts on everything. I'm going to start with the worst. I thought the bank was slow. Now, you got to remember something here also in the Philippines. There's no hurry for anything. Nothing. You almost got to push them. You got to be, what's the old saying, the squeaky wheel gets the oil first. You got to push them. What's going on? Push them. What's going on? Push them. What's going on? Because if you don't, they can take their time. Back in the States, you go in, you apply for a loan, you're approved within hours at the most. Here, there's no hurry. So by pushing them and having a sales agent that's working with you from like the Toyota dealer, it helps. And it's like, back in the States, at least my experience, when you apply for a loan or whatever, the bank or whatever is, hey, hang on. The bank is, oh, hey, thanks for applying for the loan. Congratulations on your loan. If there's anything we can do to assist you, to help you out, just let us know. By the way, here's some freebies. And I even tried to squeeze an umbrella out of the bank. I couldn't get an umbrella out of the bank. It's just a slow process. Them not being happy for you, maybe it's just my bank, but it just kind of, maybe it's just how they roll here. The positive part of the whole experience was the dealer I dealt with. They were so helpful, bending over backwards. Now, yeah, they do want a sale, but they could kick back and wait for the process to run its course. But they were so helpful. Like I said, he was calling, he was contacting me, he was sending me messages. Very, very helpful. Great experience. Toyota of Angeles City. Great people down there. You also gotta, here's another thing. If you go in there, and when I first walked in there, the first salesperson I had, you can kind of read them. They didn't really know too much about the vehicle. the person might have been new. I don't know. Maybe they specialize in a different vehicle there. But I could tell she wasn't really knowledgeable. And, you know, not her fault. Like I said, I don't know the circumstances. Make sure, if you're not happy with the first person, ask for somebody else. Somebody who's more knowledgeable in the vehicle you're looking at to purchase. But, oh, they were great. He was great. So anyways, I put half down. Financed right around a little over 10,000 US dollars for my loan. People want to know this. I went with 5 years, interest rate 6.5, payments, monthly payments a little over 200 a month. Now here's another catcher I want to throw out there before I end this video. Back in the States, you can go in and say, I want to double up on my payments, double up on my payments. I want to, you know, to pay it off quicker, quicker and quicker. Here in the Philippines, at least my bank, BPI, will not allow you to double up on your payments. Your payments are going to come out of your peso account. So now I have to make sure I have money sitting in my peso account to have that withdrawn out every month. What I can do though is I can come in, say 6 months down the road, and say, listen, I want to pay it off in full. I can do that. That's something that, you know, that they do here. Like I said, this is BPI in my bank. But anyways, guys, that is my experience. Like I said, other people might have different experiences. But I'm sharing my experience and how I, as an expat, as a foreigner, living here in the Philippines, obtained a car loan through the bank. Like I said, I've different experience. I've been with the bank a long time, 6 years, 7 years. They know exactly my banking habits. So there it is. That's how I did it. Other people, if you had a different experience, good experience, bad experience, whatever, put it down in the comments. You know, I do read all the comments. But anyways, there it is. With that being said, I hope it was helpful. This information was helpful to everybody. Like I said, first thing, go get a bank account, set it up. Don't set it up for 1 month and 1 month later run in and ask for a loan, because I don't know how that would work out for you. So anyways, with that being said, take care of yourself, take care of each other, take care of the sick, the elderly, and the young. If you have pets, take care of your pets, and we'll talk to you later.